Hey, everybody. Welcome to Carnivore Fest. Tonight, I have Dr. Cammy. This is her channel. I'm so excited to get grilling with her. You may have seen me last on our guacamole special, where we dove into all things guacamole. Tonight, we are diving into all things carnivore, all meat. And I'm actually shocked at how many different types of meat we're going to be cooking tonight. I think it's a really interesting grilling challenge. We're going to be using my grill here, and we have different meats in different stages. We have ribs here that are already cooked, and we're just going to finish them off. We have the chicken wings here that have been marinating for a while. We have steak. We have some ribeyes here, and then we have a tri-tip as well. So tonight we're going to be grilling all of these. Dr. Cammy's going to talk to you about different elements of the carnivore diet, which I'm really interested in hearing myself. Yeah, welcome to grilling tonight. We've got our Carnivore Fest. So Dr. Cammy, should we get started?
Yeah, hi everybody, Dr. Cammy here. Welcome to Dr. Cammy Goes Keto. I'm just delighted to be with Mr. Will Bach, the one who became famous with our guacamole video where we had like almost 1,000 views that first night. It was so fun. We had such a great time eating dinner together and watching our views grow. So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to have Will tell us, obviously some things need more cooking than others. And so we're going to have him start getting things on the grill. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about some protein myths. I'm going to bust some protein myths tonight. So,
awesome.
All right.
So I think I'll just take you through kind of our thought process here when it goes to the grill. So I think we're going to start with this tri-tip. This is the thickest cut of meat that we have. It's the biggest piece of meat too. It's going to take the most time. My plan is to put that right in the middle of the grill, have it relatively low on the flame, like the burners themselves, but have the grill is cooking right now. We've had this grill on.
Yeah. What is it at for?
It's at about 400 degrees right now.
400 degrees. So it's going to go in at 400. And the tri-tip's been sitting for like an hour, a little more than an hour, almost an hour and a half. So cool. It's going to be nice and warm going in.
So I think I'll put then these two on at the same time. The chicken, so that's raw, and then the two steaks. I think we'll put those on. We'll then let that cook for a while. We'll do some flipping, but what I really like to do is to let the grill do the work. So we'll step away, we'll talk, we'll hang out, the meat will be on, we'll then flip everything. And my goal is to lift this as few times as possible tonight. That's my goal.
Very good.
And then we'll get the grill firing up with these ribs at the end.
Very good. And the ribs have been in a Instapot under pressure cooking for about 25 minutes before we pulled them out here. And these are pork ribs.
Cool.
All right. Very good.
Can we get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to get this tri-tip going. And like I said, I'm going to get this right in the middle. So this has been preheated. And we're just going to let that go right there and get started. Now I have these on low. And everything is on low because I've prepped this so well in advance. Like this is a really hot grill right now. So we're just going to let this go for a while.
All right. Very good. So we're going to talk now about some of the protein myths that I want to bust for you today. So protein is a very important part of the diet. And if you're on a carnivore diet, protein is one of only two components that you basically eat. There's carbs, protein, and fat, which are the different things that we can eat. And when you're on a low carb or no carb diet, of which a real carnivore is not eating any carbs, then, well, I can't say that's really for sure, because if you're eating a little bit of cream or dairy, there is a little bit of carbs in there, but very low carb, you have protein and fat to deal with. And if you really are eating a carnivore diet only, you want to eat a lot of fat. You want to eat about 70% fat. It's a lot of fat, but you do want to be eating some protein too. You want to try to eat, well, we'll just start with the myths here and we'll take it from there. Okay. Myth number 1, protein damages your kidneys. Too much protein can damage your kidneys. That is a myth. That is not true. Even when you have kidney disease, you have to really probably have severe advanced end-stage kidney disease to really be worried about your protein. And so the situation is that when you do have kidney disease, you spill protein into your urine because the kidneys are not working effectively to degrade the protein. So you will spill protein into the urine. And So that might be the confusion that some people have. But really, you do not have to worry about too much protein in your diet. And so really what I try to think of in general is that you want about 1 gram of protein for every pound. So that's a lot of protein.
That's a ton of protein.
Yeah. So, and if you're older or if you're more active, you might even need more protein than that. The average is maybe 1.5. So you have to really be watching your protein and be sure that you're getting enough protein. So that's myth number 1. Myth number 2, too much protein kicks you out of ketosis. So I personally have been having an interesting situation with ketosis where I'm in some of the time, but not in most of the time. I check my ketones with my Keto Mojo. I am in ketosis generally in the afternoon around 1:30 or so. My ketones will be anywhere from 0.5, 0.6 up to 1.2, but in the morning they're smaller and lower at 0.3. So my body's still trying to figure out what to do. But protein stimulates glucagon as well as insulin. And what that does is cause you to balance out. And so that if you are in ketosis, you will probably stay in ketosis when you're eating your protein. So it's really not true that eating protein kicks you out of ketosis. That's myth number 2. Out of 4 myths, we're at myth number 3, which is you only need a little protein. And we've already talked about this. Protein is crucial for muscle, your hormones, your healing, and your metabolism. And most people will eat too little protein as opposed to enough protein because they just don't know how much protein they need per meal. And so what you can do is look at how many meals you're eating a day and then divide your protein based on how many meals you're eating. And the 4th myth that we're going to discuss here quickly is that plant protein is just as good as animal protein. That is not true. Animal protein has all of the essential amino acids that you need. Plant protein does not have all of your essential amino acids. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to add different plants together to make sure that I do believe that if you combine the right plants in the right way, you can get all your essential amino acids. That might not be true. There might be some amino acids that the plants do not give. But plant protein is less efficient protein than the animal protein. Animal protein is a more efficient way to eat, to get your protein. And your body as a human prefers the protein. The animals eat the grass, and then we eat the animals. That's kind of the way it goes in the evolutionary chain. So the wrap up is that protein is a healing nutrient and that it's really nothing that we need to be afraid of, and that you need to probably be getting more protein than you think and more protein than you're actually getting. But it's just something that we're doing right now for you guys to just think about and to see how things are going in your life.
Dr. Cammie, I have a question, if that's okay.
Sure.
So I think, I'm not as familiar with the carnivore diet, and I know that that's something that you're looking at. My perspective, when I've heard carnivore, I think, are people going to gain a lot of weight because there's a lot of fat in the meat that we might be eating? So, a ribeye, for example, that may have high fat content. Is that all just going to hit my body and, and make me gain a lot of weight if I were on this diet?
Okay, that's a great question. And the answer is it depends on how many carbs you're going to be eating with your diet too. Because if you're eating a lot of carbs with the diet and you're eating a lot of fat and you're eating your protein, you will gain weight. If you are eating a low carb diet, and especially over time, then and you're eating animal products and you're eating animal fat, then your body can become what's called fat adapted as opposed to carb adapted. So a carb adapted body will utilize carbohydrates for fuel first. And it's carb adapted because it's getting more carbs than it is fat. And so you really will not gain a lot of weight. And a lot of people will actually be able to lose weight as they put more fat in their diet if they drop the carbs. The problem is you have to eat, basically I try to shoot for 20 grams or less of carbs a day. And so that's very little. One of the things I'm eating right now, which is my nemesis, is rice cakes. And those have no nutritional value whatsoever. So don't eat those. I'm not advocating that. But they do have 7 or 8 grams of carbs in them. So one rice cake has 8 grams of carbs. And if I eat like peanut butter on it, there's a couple of more carbs there.
Right.
So there's half my carbs for the day. in a rice cake with peanut butter on it. And then I do drink coffee with a little bit of cream in it. There's a small amount of carbs in the cream. So if you drink enough of it, but really, if you're watching your carbohydrates, so what I did at the beginning, when I went to watch my carbohydrates, I was probably eating over 300 grams of carbohydrates a day. And I made the decision, and my girlfriend Karen said, you're not going to lose weight unless you start eating 20 grams or less of carbs a day. And I said, forget that. I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. So I started eating 100 grams a day and I didn't lose weight. Then I started down, then I dropped it to 75. Then I dropped it to 50. I finally dropped it to 20 to 25 grams of carbs a day. And the one thing I was still eating was a little bit of blueberries. And then that caused me to start being able to lose a little bit of weight and get some more fat off at the gym and convert that to muscle.
Cool.
Through the exercise that I'm doing too. So yeah.
Dr. Cammie, I think it's time for us to check this
Okay.
tri-tip and maybe
All
do
right.
a flip. Okay. So
we're going to check. Did you look at the time?
yeah. So, oh, that looks beautiful.
Oh,
looks
look
beautiful.
at that.
Okay,
Are you
I'm
showing that?
Yeah. Do you
That's
see that?
beautiful.
Get in there and then we're going to get this closed as quickly as we can. All right. Amazing.
Beautiful.
So that looks perfect. That a little bit of char on the tips.
Beautiful.
I think it's perfect. So,
and how long was that?
so
10
we're
minutes?
gonna have to check. Typically, when I grill, and I should have said this at the beginning, it's more a feel thing than anything. And I think tonight with Carnivore Fest and all these different meats, we're just gonna feel this out.
All right. I love it.
I
love
wish I
it.
had a better, my guac recipe is very down to like a science. With grilling, it's more of a feel.
So you're a grill master then.
It'll be more
an intuitive grill master.
It's just you'll see the smoke, you'll kind of catch the heat, and so I think with tonight we're some people may call it winging it. I think we're gonna call it feeling it. So
all right. And the other thing that I know you can do is you can see how spongy the meat is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like when it's done, you can like the texture of it.
That will do tonight, and I do this every time I grill. So I do use the meat thermometer. So I'm gonna grab that because that's something I really it'll typically be pretty close to done, but I think we're right on track. But I'll grab the meat thermometer in a little bit and we'll get this going. But I think we get the rest of the meat started in just a couple minutes here.
Okay, very good.
Cool.
So we're going to be doing another segment of video here. Do you have any other questions that you might want to ask?
Let's see. So the carnivore. So I guess how quickly after you start carnivore do you start noticing changes in your health and your
God, Will, this is such an excellent question. And just to let you guys know, we are winging it in more ways than one. We have not recorded this. We did not discuss what questions we're going to ask. We're just having a good old time here in front of this. And I guess maybe my next option is to go live, right?
Yeah, we could
just
go
live. Hey,
Yep.
Let's do it next time. So anyway, very quickly, you start to notice changes very quickly. I would say probably 3 to 4 days. If you really start watching your carbs and you get them out of your body very quickly, what happened to me is that the inflammation, the pain in your joints, the inflammation in your body. I have a finger that doesn't bend very well. And when I am eating, because what I'll do is binge. Everyone knows from my channel, I'm a binge eater. And what I do is go, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 47 days eating well. And then I'll binge on carbohydrates. So I'm experienced with how long it takes my body to get out of it once I get back on track. So I would say about 3 or 4 days for me. I notice that I have more energy. I'm more focused. Sleep is a little bit iffy there sometimes, but I need less of it. And I have less pain overall, less joint pain, less inflammation in my body, and really just overall sense of better well-being. Just feel better. And it's quick. It's, within 3 or 4 days.
Cool.
And, that's what motivates me to do well when I am on my food plan. The other thing that I do that's helpful for me still is I have either a written food plan where I do really well when I write down the foods, because the night before I'll think about I'll look at my calendar and I'll think about what schedules what am I doing tomorrow, the next day? Where am I going to be? What am I going to need to eat? What am I going to want to eat? What am I craving? What travels well? What meals I'm going to be home and I don't have to worry about. And then I'll be sure that I have all that food in my fridge ready to go. So that makes it nice too. So yeah, you notice a difference right away. Do you want
One
to put
thing-
any butter on it?
We can do some butter. I'm gonna get the salt as well for the steak.
All right. So thank you so much, Nikki, for being our filmer. We hope you guys are enjoying this so far. And Will's been coming up with some great questions. And one of the other things I wanted to let you guys know is that it's really important that you be patient with your journey of being on a carnivore or a keto diet, and that you want to be sure that you give yourself some grace, because it really is kind of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back, at least for somebody like me with a history of having some eating difficulties as far as being successful with a healthy diet. But one of the things that I'm experiencing now, because I have to tell you, I'm on day 11 of eating very, very well right now. I went to the gym this morning, actually, and weighed in. And I had lost 4 pounds in the last 16 days, 4 solid pounds. My percent body fat, it's still high, guys. I started out at 46% 2 years ago. My percent body fat this last time went from like around 38 to 35%. I think it might have been around that. So it's still kind of high. The lowest I have ever gotten is 30% body fat. So I'm working on that at the gym, but it's been up and down for me. I'll go do great, then I'll fall off. I'll do great, and then I fall off. But one of the things that a lot of my followers have told me is that they're just really impressed that I continue to go on. And that's something that I think is really, really important, is that you just don't give up. Because I do notice that I'm feeling better. I do notice that I'm getting healthier. And I do notice that my clothes are fitting better. And I'm getting ready to get into some smaller sizes too. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. All right, here comes Will.
All right, we are back. So let's get. So Cammy, we can put some butter on if you want. We can maybe rub a little bit on there.
Sure.
How does that sound?
Sounds great. I'll let Nikki get in here so if you can watch you do that.
So I'll rub some butter on it. It's a good idea here. Oh, that is starting to smell good.
I can
The
smell
tri-tip. That is starting to smell good.
Too bad the smell doesn't come through in the video.
I know. You guys will have to try that at home yourselves too. Okay, so I'm gonna I like to put a bunch of salt on both sides, the steaks. And I think we'll get the chicken on as well. So
Do you want me to work on this while you get the chicken on
sure.
there?
Yeah, perfect.
I'll butter and get some
Cool.
good salt on there. This dish is a little bit deep, so it makes it a little harder to get the right angle for the butter. Okay, so we've got some butter here.
Great.
The salt we're using is fine Mediterranean sea salt.
Yeah. Yep. Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Great.
want me to flip it over and put some butter on the other side?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna get the thermometer and see where we're at. All right. It's getting there.
What do we got?
So we're at 121.
Okay.
Typically once I start seeing like 132, 33, do you have a preference on your meat?
I do. I tend to like it medium rare.
Great. Same
I can
here.
eat medium. I can eat medium well. I don't necessarily like well.
We'll try to do as close to medium rare for all of our meat tonight.
Okay, here we
except
go.
We'll make sure that we fully bake that.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Right. Here we go. Wow, this is amazing.
So the butter's going to make a little
Yeah,
bit
that's-
flame.
Yeah, we'll see how hopefully that burns off pretty quick. I
I know I put a lot on there. So
know
we're
what I'm
gonna-
gonna actually do just to we'll have this burn off at the top level, just so the meat itself doesn't get too crispy. So we'll put that up at the top
Perfect.
just so it stays away from the open flame, because that's when it can get a little.
All right. So
Great.
we're good for now. I wanted to ask you a question, Will.
Sure. Yeah.
What are you eating? Like, how is your diet right now? What are you eating as far as carbs or?
Yeah, that's a great question. So typically for breakfast, I have been we'll do cereal. We do cereal for breakfast. So oatmeal squares. I've done a lot of like the oatmeal squares. So if I could have breakfast my way every day and everything was, easy with, we've got 2 kids, little kids. And, but I love like a big egg breakfast, eggs and bacon. That's like perfect for me. And a couple pieces of toast. I love it. And so that's like a great breakfast for me right now with kind of the stage of life that we're in. It's like eat as quick as you can
Yeah.
and just get going.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do salads for lunch.
Okay.
So I'll typically do, and again, one of my goals right now is to just eat efficiently. So I'm doing bagged salads.
Okay.
Throw everything in. It takes
Yep.
30 seconds and you've got a decent salad. It's not the best salad, but it's a decent
It
salad and
works.
it checks the box. And then for dinner, we really mix it up. We do quite a bit of rice, different rice dishes. Our kids are obsessed with all things rice. So we do rice. We'll do pasta. We'll do like meatballs quite a bit. Meatballs and pasta and meatballs. We'll do that. I actually really recommend a store called Wild Fork. I don't know if you're familiar with Wild Fork, but I have started to try to eat more meat. I've tried to add more meat to my diet, and Wild Fork is such a great place because first of all, I love the taste of their meats. I am not sure how quality the meat is, but it's affordable and it's a great piece. And so I'll get the New York strips there. I'll get the ribeyes there. And so I'll have a steak once every 1.5 to 2 weeks. I'll have a steak and, that's kind of.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So this is fun. This is like a Carnivore Fest is nice for you to be having.
Absolutely. This is awesome.
Folks.
Yeah.
We're going to be feasting.
So I'm going to check I'm going to get these. This chicken looks amazing. Oh my goodness.
Look at that. And there's Nikki behind the camera. Why don't you tell them the spices that are on the chicken?
Yeah. What's on the chicken here?
The chicken has butter and it has GOP, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. So it's very simple.
Beautiful. Wow. All right. These steaks are looking good. Chicken's looking good.
This is looking fabulous. And it's smelling pretty good out here, too.
I'm going to get a couple plates for us.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and go, and we're going to get these ribs on in just a minute. And then we're going to do a post shot of all the cooking that we've been doing. We hope so. We hope that you enjoy the filming we've been doing so far. And I'm looking forward to getting this out. And I am going to be learning how to add 2 videos together because I haven't done that yet. So we'll see you soon. And thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and comment. Thank you.